So why don't you tell the story about how you first heard about us?
We knew that we wanted to start working on renovations to the house, and of course, the immediate place that we would ask for a referral is our realtors, Chip and Sue Parrish, and they enthusiastically said, "You've got to talk to Bob and Susan, just because of the experiences that they've had with you." And frankly, it was years ago, so I foolishly thought that we could handle all of the logistics with a kitchen renovation, and she really kind of sold us on the idea, Sue did, that we needed to have a contractor. And so once we got that advice from Sue, and then when we met you and Bob, it was like a done deal. Like, we knew we wanted to work with you both.
Yeah,
And so we started, the first thing we did though, there was like an emergency sort of, wasn't the exterior, didn't something kind of trump the kitchen or happen at the same time?
Yeah, the porch really was one of the first projects.
The first project that we did that started this cycle was we replaced all the windows in the house because the heating bills were ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then we were interested in getting the kitchen repaired and renovated. But what really started it is that we had the shower pan came apart from the shower upstairs, which leaked water into this powder room.
Yeah.
And thus became the kitchen, and that powder room was the priority of getting that project going.
Yeah.
Then we had to take care of the porch and did the porch renovation and the exterior part of the house because of some of the wood rot and other problems we were having there.
Yeah.
You guys really are the perfect example though of, it starts in one spot and then it just
and
keeps
then
going.
Yeah. And this house is so old that we really see ourselves as stewards of this home for the next people.
Yeah.
And so I think what you guys have helped us do is sort of learn about how to stair step an approach to renovation and to making your home better. And so I think those are elements that we had to learn about, and we didn't know before. So I think the approach to how we renovated was really guided by you, and your eye is on design and look and feel, and Bob's is on how does this work mechanically. And so we have spent a lot of time dealing with the infrastructure of this house, electric, plumbing, sewer lines, and so on, that are not glamorous.
Right.
And so it was great when we could start making changes that had more of a visual appeal versus something that's your electric panel isn't exactly glamorous.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
that's not nearly as much fun.
Right, but I think that was what was helpful to have you and Bob sort of guide us through, because that was really great.
And I think anytime you're dealing with a house, what year was it built?
1895.
Yeah. So it has a little age on her. She needs a little help. She needs some loving.
That's right.
And it is unfortunate when you do have to spend money on the things that aren't pretty, and then you're going to get that way.
Right, but it has to be done.
I
mean, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure in these situations. So
we talk about water. Well, when I'm having a drink, I like to say that water is your friend, and you should drink more water. But water infiltration and what it does to houses, from top and bottom, are just, people just don't really put enough emphasis on how critical some of those repairs are. Because this is most likely your largest investment that your home will be.
Right.
So.
Right. Well, I think that was evidenced in our kitchen renovation, which when we looked at what we needed to do, this part of the kitchen had hardwood floors that were probably from the 1940s when this addition was put on. And I really wanted to save those floors. And Bob said, the floor is sloping here. And I said, no, it's not. So sure enough, he pulls out a golf ball, and the golf ball ends up in that corner. And the floor had to come up. And so when possible, I think you folks do a great job at talking through how to maintain the integrity, the historical integrity of the home. But when it's necessary to, repair a floor that's sloped, we have to do that. So I think there's a really good balance of managing the integrity of the home from a historical perspective, but then from a infrastructure perspective too.
Right.
Okay. So the most recent projects that we did let's talk about the bathrooms upstairs and how we had two to do, and of course one seemed worse than the other, but we still had to figure out which one to do first.
That's right. The luxury that we had doing this, of course, is having 2 bathrooms upstairs, 2 full baths upstairs, so that we could not be without a shower.
Yeah.
That would be sort of hard. But for us, it was, and we talked about this for going on 2 years, really, about like how do we ideate about it, what do we think about it, and our master bath had such a unique footprint in the house that we really had to think pretty deliberately about how to do that. So, Susan, you were helpful for us in terms of design and how we made it look good, maintaining the integrity of the home, right? Like there has to be a fit there.
Yeah.
So that was great. And we've talked about how important the trades folks are in terms of helping get this job done. Everyone from plumbing to electric to wood to tile.
Yeah.
Every single person that came through this house were really wonderful to work with.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's not something that I think is characteristic of many places. There's challenges there.
Oh, absolutely.
And also labor is also a shortage for many people too. So that's, you didn't experience that with Epic, which was awesome.
Yeah, our trade base is, that's the most important thing that we have. We get to know you guys.
Right.
Any client that we have when we're doing a renovation like this, we know how many cups of coffee you need in the morning. We want to ask you that question about where that light switch should go.
That's right. That's right.
It is amazing that we've put together such a team that we don't have to think twice about sending them out to somebody's house if we're not.
That's
gonna
right.
Be there.
That's right.
And it's great.
And after a while, when you start having the same people come in,
they
get to know you as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
they know that before 7:30 is not a good thing.
Yeah, it's not
so good. But for other people, it might be fine. So that was really great. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, and something to highlight of what you just said about you getting to know us. I think that was probably one of the most important things that you did.
Really?
In sort of setting up this whole process.
Yeah.
Was understanding what Don and I like in a home, how we live in it.
Yeah.
And really asking us questions that, we had to think about to answer.
Yeah. Well, it kind of helped that you're a lot of fun. and that we have, what 2014, is that when we think this all?
Yeah.
We would have met you guys.
Probably.
Yeah.
So, and for us right now, there's nobody else we would ever go with. Because there takes some time. That's right.
Yeah.
And you see people, and when you see the same trades folks come back time and again, it's really, that's a great thing. Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for chatting with us today.
Sure. Yeah, of course.